Okay, so in the previous class, we have studied about GST, and some of you have said that you have a doubt in input tax credit. Correct? You have doubt on input credit S?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, before this, in the month of March, we have completed two lessons, that is linear equation in two variables and quadratic equation, correct?
Question.
Yeah. So in your exams, there are three topics now this time. That is linear equation, quadratic equation, and GST. So in GST,
Ma'am,
yeah,
Ma'am, Apurva is waiting in the lobby.
ma'am, even Vidya is waiting in the lobby, ma'am.
that's why no, they have to join early as possible as. Okay. Yes. So let us start with a revision. So quickly, I'll revise some certain things first here, and then we can start with input tax credit. Okay, so you know that GST is an indirect tax which was started in India on 1st July 2017. Okay, is applicable throughout the India. So the year when it came into existence, that the date is 1st July 2017. So GST is applied throughout the India in this year. France was the first country to introduce GST in 1954. So some questions might come, some general questions, not only in your 10th standard class, but it will also help you when you're giving your competitive exams. So France was the first country to introduce GST in 1954. Today it has spread to over 140 countries. So 140 countries are using this GST. It is applicable throughout 140 countries. The GST is paid by the consumer, but it is remitted to the government by the business selling the goods and services. In effect, GST provides revenue on the government. Means directly or indirectly, customer or consumer will pay the tax to the government. So in India, there are types of GST. So there are three types of GST, that is CGST, SGST and IGST. So we know what is CGST, that is Central Goods and Service Tax, and SGST is State Goods and Service Tax, and one more GST, that is Integrated Goods and Service Tax. So these are the three types of GST. So apart from the above, there is UTGST, means Union Territory GST. So some we have a union territories. How many union territories we have? How many we have in India? How many we have union territory in India?
7.
7 or 9?
7.
Now it is updated, no? 7 or 9? Okay, find out 7 or 9, because even I am having 9 maybe, because now it is revised, no? Earlier it was
Ma'am, yes,
7.
it's
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. So instead of state, it is mentioned as union territory. Okay. So union territory goods and service tax meant for union territories of India. So UTGST is the GST applicable on goods and services supply that takes place in any of the 5 union territories. It is old one. So you have to mention it as a 9 union territories of India. So this UTGST will be charged in addition to the CGST. So for any transaction of goods and services within a union territory, this both can be added. We know that it has an intra state and interstate. So when there is an intrastate, CGST and SGST is applicable. Same way for intrastate, CGST and UTGST is also applicable. Okay, so there are 7 rates prescribed for IGST. So there are different 7 rates are there, like 0.25 percentage, 3 percentage, 5 percentage, and 18 and 28 percentage. Okay, so these are the certain GST rates they have given. Okay, IGST is payable for each and every important transaction before taking delivery of important goods from one state to other state. So When the IGST is applicable, we know very well. When the transaction is happening from one state to other states. So GST and its components. How many components are there? There are two components again. That is intrastate and interstate transaction. What do you mean by intrastate? One is CGST, that is central GST, and SGST, that is state or union territory GST. So when the transaction is happening within the state, that time the GST is applicable for both the types, that is central GST and state GST or union GST. And when the transaction is happening between two states, we have to it is applicable for integrated, that is IGST. Okay. So the next one is %10 GST. Just this is an example. We have given one example. Just say that the government has informed you have to pay 10% GST. That means 5% goes to the central and other 5% goes to the state or union territory when the transaction is happening within the state. Means if it is transaction is happening Belgaum to Hubli, that means that time if the 10% GST is given by government, it should go 5% to central and 5% to state. Okay, so it is here mentioned 5% and 5%. So on 15th August 2016, Assam became the first state to pass the GST bill. Okay, so this is the first state where first time the GST is applied. So which was the first state? That is Assam. GST subsumes many indirect taxes which were imposed by central and state, such as excise, VAT and service taxes. So earlier how it was, many taxes were there. There were total 13 different taxes were there. So it is merged and only one GST they have introduced, that is GST, goods and services tax. So what are the advantages of GST? Some of the important ways in which it will enable the growth of economy. So where it is advantages are there, that is unified market, logistic cost will fall, online transaction will also be covered under the GST, lower tax evasion, boost investment and export, and increased competitiveness. So these are the areas where the GST is we can see the advantages. So what are the important points to be remember here? So you should know about GST rates. GST rates are different corresponding to different items. As I have told, for same item, same GST is not given. For example, if one item, if the GST is 0%, there is a no GST. So maybe a particular item is there, government has declared for that particular item 5% GST is there. And maybe for the TV 12%, maybe for the car it is 18%. Means the GST 18% only cannot be for all the items. The government has given different things like it is 0, 5, 12, 18 and 28. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types it is mentioned. Okay. Some items are exempted from GST also. Example, music instruments, handmade, napkins, etc. Some are exempted. So only it is mentioned as 0% here. Some items are not under GST till now. For example, petrol and petroleum products, liquor, education and health services, etc. Okay. So these are still are not under the GST. So already we have discussed about the discount formula also, that is discount is equals to discount percentage of marked price. This is the formula for discount. GST given by the consumer is split into two parts, that is CGST and SGST, which goes to the central and state government respectively as tax equally it is paid. So when it is happening in the same state, it is already you know that it will be given to the central as well as state. GST is charged on the selling price of the items and it is given by the consumer. So on what it will be chargeable? It will be chargeable on selling price and it will be given by end user, that is consumer or customer. tax invoice steps of GST. That is, what all things will be there when the GST is mentioned there. So bill number will be there, bill date will be there, timing will be there, item wise total amount will be mentioned, GST breakup details will be there. So these all things will be provided when it is mentioned, or when the tax when for example one shop is there, if any details they have to keep, these all things they have to keep it, bill number, how much amount they are paid, and what is the bill number, bill date means expiry date, or how many days we can use that product. So everything they have to check it. So these are some formulas you can see here. CP is equals to mark price 1 minus discount divided by 100. Cost price is equals to selling price including GST into 100 plus rate of GST. So this is about the certain things about the GST. I will not explain much about GST because you all know about GST very clearly. So you are having doubts in input tax credit. So today we will focus on this input tax credit. So what do you mean by input tax credit? So here input tax credits, in that there are two important things, that is input tax and output tax. So what we can say input tax, for example, when dealer buy the product, okay, when dealer buy the product and pays tax on it, what he is doing, dealer is buying some product from the wholesaler, okay, dealer is buying the product from the wholesaler and he pays tax on it. That tax is called as input tax. Any doubt here now? For example, or you can take wholesaler. For example, a wholesaler buying certain things from the manufacturer. When he is buying certain things, he is paying tax. That is called as input tax. Any doubt? Any doubt on input tax? Any doubt on input tax? Clear about input tax? When
Ma'am.
a retailer buy something from wholesaler, he pays tax on it. So that is called as what? Input tax. Now we'll come to the output tax. When dealer collects tax from customer. For example, now dealer will sell some product. Whatever product he already bought it, what he'll do it now? He will sell it. So dealer is selling product to the customer. Okay, when dealer collects tax from the customer while selling the product, that is called as what? Output tax. Clear about that now? Clear about output tax? Any doubt in output tax? Or shall I explain once again? When, for example, when wholesaler is selling some product to the dealer, okay, and he will collect tax from the dealer, that is called as output tax. Clear about it? If it is not clear, you can tell me here. Okay, so clear about input and output tax? So now what do you mean by input tax credit? If you know this input tax and output tax, you should know input tax credit. For example, I can say that cost price of a pen. If I am a shopkeeper, just I'm giving an example. If I am a shopkeeper, cost price of a pen is rupees 7. Okay, whatever a pen I took it from a dealer, the price it was 7 rupees. And tax paid by you means shopkeeper is paying tax on 7, that is 1 rupee. So total it is 8 rupees. A cost of a pen is 7 rupees, but he is paying tax, 1 rupees tax, that is total now 8 rupees. So now what shopkeeper does? He will think that I need some profit. Now total amount is how much? 8 rupees. Correct. The cost of a pen now total is 8 rupees because he bought it for 7 and he paid 1 rupees tax. So total is 8. Now what he does, he wants some profit. So what he do, he will add 2 rupees in it. So total it will be 10 rupees. Then he will collect tax from the customer, that is 1.5. That means 10 plus 1.5 is 11.5. So the pen finally he is selling to the customer is for 11.5. So now if the shopkeeper already he has given the input tax, that is 1 rupees, and now if he again pays 1.5, there will be loss for him. So to come out from this input tax credit is introduced. So for this, what they have told, they have given one formula, that is output minus input. If he is paying both the time, if first of all he paid 1 rupees as a input tax and now he is getting output tax as 1.5. So if he'll add 1.5 plus 1, it is 2.5. If he'll give 2.5, then he will be in the loss. Correct? Because both the time is adding and giving. So to come over from this input tax credit is introduced, and that is the formula is output minus input tax. So what is input tax credit is clear? It is clear? Okay, so what is ITC? Input tax credit means setting of the amount of input tax against the amount of output tax. So again it is given here, output tax is a tax charged on a sales and input tax is the tax paid on a purchases. Okay, so already I have informed you here what is input and output tax. Once again I'll repeat. Whenever you go in the market, okay, and buy a product or you sell a product, you have to pay GST on it. Correct? If you are buying or you are selling, you have to pay GST on it. Now, the GST that you pay while purchasing a product, okay, now the GST that you pay while purchasing a product, that is input tax for you. Correct? And what is output tax? The tax that you are paying on the sales for particular product, that is output tax, means which is collected from the customer, that is called as what? Output tax. So any doubt here, output and input? So some of the explanation is given here. At the time of buying and product or availing any services, we pay tax on it. This is the first point. At the time of sale, we charge tax. Now we adjust input tax against output tax at the time of sale. After adjusting ITC, we pay the balance liability of tax to the government. This mechanism is called utilization of tax, and this process is called as what? Utilization of tax. Means we are subtracting output minus input and we are paying utilization tax. Here one example is given. So maybe a manufacturer total amount is 12,500. Okay, GST charge from subsequent dealer or a final product. Tax paid on input, that is maybe the raw material or anything material what he has used to prepare that product, made that product, he has used 10,000 rupees. Okay, and final product he is selling it for 12,500 rupees. Maybe in this 10,000 only he has added the profit. Okay, 10,000 only he has added the profit, everything, and what happened? 12,500 the final product he is giving to the dealer. Now how much tax he has to pay to the government? Only 2,500 he has to pay to the government. Okay. Now to understand, let us take these examples. To understand input credit tax in a better way, we'll take this example. I have taken here 4 examples. One is manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and consumer. So now I can say that I'm a manufacturer. Just take an example that I'm a manufacturer and I have a garments business, and all the materials, whatever I'm using, raw materials, I'm a farmer also, and everything it is available with me. Raw materials are also available with me. So the final product I'm only giving to the wholesaler. So maybe the product I'm giving, that is for 400 rupees, I have added here profit also, and final selling price I'm telling 400 rupees. Okay, and the government said that you have to give 18% GST on this. So now manufacturer has to give 18% GST. That means 400 of 18%. When you do 400 of 18%, how much you will get? Can you tell me 400 of 18%, how much? Calculate. 400 of 18% means 400 multiplied by 18 upon 100. What will be the answer?
20.
Huh?
72. 72.
72. When you do this, you will get 72. So here already answer I have written. So you know this is the final amount, means selling price of manufacturer, and government has told 18% is GST. So he will add this 400 plus 72. So total is 472. So the manufacturer will say that this is the 472 charge from wholesaler. He will charge from the wholesaler. He will tell that you have to pay 472 rupees. And finally what manufacturer will do, he will pay rupees 72 to government, since he is a first stage dealer. Therefore he will not have benefit of ITC. So here he don't have any benefit of ITC because he's the first step. There are 4 steps as I have mentioned you. He is on the first step. So he will not get any benefit of ITC. Okay, because already he has added profit here and he is only giving the GST. Okay, so now we'll come to your wholesaler. So what wholesaler will do, he know that now 472 he bought the article, any article he bought it for, he purchased it for 472. So what he will do now, value addition 20%, means maybe some charge of bringing that product from one place to another place, maybe he has paid some fare, and also he need a profit. So what he will do, he will take the 20 percentage, he will add value addition in that 20 percentage. He has to add some profit also, no? So 20 percentage he will add. Okay, in this, in what? Okay, 400. Okay, same 400 is taken and 20 percentage is addition. So 400 and 20 percentage is how much? Can you tell me? Can you answer me? 400 of 20% is how much?
80.
80. Sure.
480, ma'am.
480. Total is now?
80, ma'am.
Total is 480 and the GST is 80. Correct. Okay. So now 80 is here. So now total whole 80 he has to give it to the government now. What do you think? 80 rupees, all 80 rupees he has to give. Something wrong we have done here. Whole 80 rupees they have to give. Or output tax minus input tax they have to do it. Okay, let us take this third one. Here's something I have not done it. Okay, third one you take it. For example, the retailer took the product for 480 rupees from the wholesaler. Okay, the retailer has taken the product for 480 rupees and value addition is doing, that is 20%, means some profit or some fare is adding. So 480 of 120 is getting 104. Four 480 of 120 is how much? Just do it. 480 of 20% is how much? Do it and tell me. I think 576 it should be. 576.
576.
Have you done it? Correct. It is 480 of 20% only you have done.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So 576 means after adding 20%, the amount will be 576. Now again 18% GST. So 18% GST on what you have to take it? On 576 you have to take. So 576 of 18%, how much you will get? Do it. Solve it. 576 of 18%. Solve.
$103.68.
That means 103.68 means it is all round. They have rounded up and they have taken 104.
4.
Okay. So the GST is 104. So total amount is 680. Okay. Now total price is to be charged from the consumer. Now retailer, what he does, he will give it to 680 to the consumer. So now GST charged, output tax is how much? 104. Means he is collecting from the consumer is 104. And already he has given to the wholesaler is how much? 86 rupees. So he should not pay now 104. Output tax he cannot pay now. He has to subtract this. So 104 minus 86, 18 rupees. So this 18 rupees he has to give it to the government because already 86 rupees he has paid. So here he can get the benefit of, retailer and wholesaler can get the benefit of ITC. Okay. And the consumer is the end user. All whole burden will come on consumer. So the ultimately consumer will pay GST of rupees 104. That is 72 plus 14 rupees, whatever the wholesaler is paid, plus 18 rupees. That all burden will come on a consumer. Okay. So the consumer is an end user who is paying whole GST indirectly to the government. Okay. And only these two, they can take the benefit of ITC, that is retailer and dealer who is reselling the product. So now any doubt in input tax and output tax credit? You have any doubt in input tax and output tax credit? Clear about input and output tax? No ma'am. Namrata, no ma'am. What doubt you have? What doubt you all have? Namrata, any doubt you have? Ma'am, I have a doubt. Disha, tell Disha, you can unmute yourself and tell. You can speak. Unmute yourself and you can speak. You can unmute yourself and you can ask the doubts. Disha.
Ask.
Doubts,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Disha.
Ma'am,
Huh.
Ma'am?
Ma'am, I have doubt about physics portion. Physics portion you have a doubt, huh? What doubt you have? See, physics is only force and only one lesson that we are giving, because biochemistry and physics is added, no? So only first lesson, force, work and energy.
Ma'am, for force, work, and energy, it is only the first part, A part.
A part means
Ma'am, because that lesson has like divisions like part A, part B, part C, and all.
entire lesson is taught, no?
No, ma'am.
Entire lesson is not given, huh?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
Shweta
only
ma'am only till the A part of second lesson, ma'am. Work lesson.
Only A part is taught, not entire.
No, ma'am.
First lesson
Not
is
entire.
thoughtful. The second lesson is thought only till A part.
First lesson is only work, force and energy, no?
ma'am, first lesson is
Lesson
for
is force.
Okay, first lesson is force. Like that with three different you have, this.
Ma'am,
first
first
lesson
lesson is force, second lesson is work, energy, and power. In that work, energy, and power, ma'am has only taught the part A.
Okay, work, energy and power. But I have asked the question entire all whole lesson. I was not knowing this. So shall I change it and I'll give it from electricity? Shall I change the topic and shall I give from electricity lesson? What do you think? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay. So which lesson it is mentioned for the exam? Work, energy and force. Work, energy and
Ma'am, work, energy, and power is mentioned for the portion, ma'am.
work,
But it is
energy.
only taught till part A.
Only work is taught. Only work.
mention work, energy, and force.
That work, energy and force is mentioned.
Ha.
Okay, so I can ask questions from force and work.
But A part it is only introduction, ma'am.
What I am asking, I can ask question from force and work
Yes, ma'am.
uh, because I have to change now entire again question paper. So I will ask the questions from force and work. Okay.
Ma'am, till 2A you are going to ask, no, ma'am. First lesson in 2A.
First lesson force and work is 2A. Till there only madam has taught, no?
Yes.
Till 2A.
Ma'am,
Okay,
but
ma'am.
in that 2A, no, ma'am, in that only the definition of work and its SI unit and powers definition and SI unit and energies definition and SI unit is given, ma'am.
Okay. So that is taught or no?
Yes, ma'am, it is thought.
It's taught,
Okay,
ma'am.
no, then
That is
force
only the
and
first part.
um, so force and work is okay, finalized.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So any doubt in input tax and output tax? See, you can see here the formula also. Output tax is on selling price and input tax is on cost price. So SP minus CP, you know that it is a profit. Correct? So this is also done. So this is one example. Okay, you have already done it from one state to another state. Here we will not solve that. So can we end today's class?
Ma'am, ITC how to utilize?
That only I have mentioned now. ITC how to utilize when they're asking input credit tax. That means they're asking you to use the formula, that is output tax minus input tax. Again and again, why there is a doubt, I have mentioned that if the wholesaler is buying some product and he is paying tax, that is input tax. If the wholesaler selling the product and collecting some tax from the retailer, that is output tax. Yes. So both together, when you are payable for the government, you have to subtract, that is output minus input. Okay, any doubt now?
Ma'am, what is the exam timing?
Exam time, see, it is just you have to sit only for timing is also mentioned in the question paper. Once the question paper you get, sit for 1 hour, whatever timing is given. How earlier for 40 marks paper, what was the timing? What was the timing?
Ma'am, it was 9:30, ma'am. Like whatever online classes was there, that